Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, baby. 1 kilogram of Greek yogurt.
A kilo.
It's fucking good. It's so good.
Oh man, I could do with some right now. It looks incredible.
Greek yogurt SMR. Right. Should we get straight into this? Because I'm ready to go.
Your lost boys are talking on their pod again. So make some noise for Sam and Clive and Ryan.
Hugs and kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hugs and kisses. More. Lost.
Wellity, wellity, wellity.
Welly, welly, welly.
Wheel.
And look who came crawling back.
On the note of me eating yogurt, for the viewers, I've been chowing down on some delicious Greek yogurt.
Honestly, he's in the world of his element, the element of his world, the world of his element. I don't know what the expression is. He's eating the biggest tub of yogurt I've ever fucking seen in my entire fucking life.
It's fine.
It's bigger than those big 32 ounces that you get in America for like sodas, but just filled with yogurt.
But it got me thinking today about
What the yogurt did.
No, well, the yogurt brought back the thought I had earlier. If I had to be buried alive by some form of food.
What the fuck are you? What?
No, this is a good topic because I'm thinking less buried alive, but there's that famous story of whichever king it was who was given the option of how he wanted to die. So he chose to be drowned in a huge vat of wine.
Well, that's kind of going along the same lines of what I was thinking. Except I would switch the wine
For yogurt?
for potato salad.
Oh.
No, potato salad.
Potato salad.
God damn, I love potato salad.
Yeah, I had a real problem with potato salad when I was drunk, like at barbecues and stuff.
Yeah,
You just dip your face in the bowl, right?
You had a drunk fetish for potato salad.
You literally put your face in the trough and just eat.
It was at a family barbecue the first time I was ever introduced to potato salad. I was like 7 or 8. And I remember thinking, potatoes and salad, this is going to be just the worst thing in the world. It's like goddamn crack. I was like a 7-year-old. It's all down my shirt. Like I just couldn't stop eating it.
That's such a middle-class white boy comparison to make there, isn't it? Your potato salad is like crack.
Exquisite.
There's only 3 ingredients in it, like salt, mayonnaise, and potatoes.
Yeah, I was just about to ask what's actually in it. And what's that shit they put in everything that makes you want more?
You gotta put like MSG.
MSG.
It's definitely got MSG in it.
You've got to get some chives or something green in there to offset just the
What, to
mayo
make it
of
look like
potatoes.
it's actually
That's
healthy.
if you go to like Marks and Spencer's. I just like your bog standard little potato
Yeah,
salad.
Clive, you middle class man. Jeez.
Well, I'm sorry, you're getting your gritty working class potato salad from like Macca's, are you? Or like, I don't know, Aldi's. Yes, please.
Oh, definitely Aldi. Shout
I'll
out
have
Aldi.
10 kilos of potato salad in half an oil drum, please.
It's not mayonnaise. It's just
white sauce.
White sauce.
White paste.
So, guys, I think you'll be glad to hear I'm coming in hot on something that I think you'll be split on your opinion on. So it'll be interesting to see what you think. Are you ready?
Go on then.
Okay, are we ready?
Ryan's mouth's full of yogurt and Sam looks like he's asleep. So
Yeah, sorry, I was.
Sorry, I touched my eye earlier with the bomb sauce and it went in my eye and I screamed.
God.
And I was like, "Get me a mouthwash!" Like I was actually screaming like crazy.
Oh, mate, yeah, that's really bad. I've had
the
chili in the
hottest
eye.
chili sauce you can get.
So I was swimming today in the sea, and
Beautiful.
I could talk a lot about that as well, but I'm not going to
Hard-working
because there's only one thing I want to talk about.
Oh my god, I think I know what you're gonna say.
Unless it was you in disguise, I don't know how you can. I was swimming back in, and there was a paddleboarder, and it was a dude, but he was wearing like a hat, sunglasses, a t-shirt, a life jacket, and shorts. So basically, he was fully dressed on this paddleboard, and I was like, "Oh, and I've got an axe to grind against paddleboarding anyway." But this guy properly went arse over head, like off the back, somersault into the water when I was watching, and so the evil part of me was just giggling like a lunatic, and I was so happy that I saw it. But yeah, that was further to my point that paddleboarding's for wankers, basically.
Oh no, I love paddleboarding.
No, I've had bad experience with paddleboarders.
Fucking great.
Yeah,
I've been surfing and paddleboarders have like purposely rode into you
100%
to claim the wave.
It's for gimps. It's for gimps who don't know anything about the sea, who don't swim, who go fully dressed. Yeah, they can't do any of the other activities in the sea. They can't swim, they can't surf, they can't kayak. So they just sort of wear their clothes and stand on a board and fanny around.
They just happen to have good balance. That's the one thing
I have disdain for that. I have disdain for those people.
90% of people that listen to podcasts also paddleboard, right?
Yeah, good. Then they're going to learn something about this podcast and about themselves, aren't they?
You're a wanker.
Use a bunch of wankers.
Nah, I don't. I suppose I don't actually. I don't have some deep-seated hatred. I just have a slight disdain. Do you know what I mean? Just a slight shame you couldn't do a real sea sport or swim.
Yeah, shame you couldn't be, a real athlete.
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
fat, mate, and I love paddleboarding.
Well,
Do you
I'm
sit
sorry,
or you
mate,
stand?
but that's exactly what I'm aiming at.
I like to eat my cakes on my paddleboard, mate, just looking into the sea, just chilling.
I mean, it doesn't really serve much purpose, does it? Other than kind of looking cool on the,
I'll be honest,
being a hipster.
There's not much adrenaline apart from when you're not about to fall in and then you manage to stay up on the board. You're like, woo, that's good.
It is the watercraft of the most despised class of people in the world, which is obviously influencers. So didn't know what I was going to say then. That's for people who are just on their Instagram, like,
it's playing bowls for people in the sea. It's basically the same equivalent.
I've had some pretty nasty run-ins with single, those tiny kayaks. The little shorty ones that people ride down rivers and things.
Yes, yeah, I do.
I've had some pretty nasty scrapes with some of those people. So I would say that they're possibly more wankers than the paddleboarding crew.
True. If we're widening it out to who are the worst people on the water, then it's got to be jet skiers.
Oh, I love jet skiing. Why do you hate me?
Oh, mate, you're the worst. You grew up next to the sea. You grew up next to the sea. How did you start liking paddleboarding and jet skiers? They're literally like the worst people.
I've been looking at a jet ski because this podcasting is so good, by the way. And I'm generally thinking about buying one.
How much did that set you back?
Like $1,000.
Don't bother.
Easy. With this podcast money, easy. I've got gold teeth now. Viewers can't see, but I have gold teeth.
I've got a diamond
chains.
Prince Albert.
Absolutely.
Do you know, I've always wondered where the name Prince Albert for Prince, and I'm aware of the historical figure of Prince Albert, but I just don't know how his name got attached to a big shiny hole in your dick.
The Prince Albert got associated with.
Is it because it's a diamond? I guess, and it's
I think it's normally just like a metal spike, isn't it, for your?
I
assume,
your old man. And I'm pretty sure if I spoke to Prince Albert, because I'm good friends with him, he would tell me, but not only tell me, but show me that he was the first person to get a piercing in his dick.
I think that's maybe the joke, isn't it? Because it's so
pretty sure
unbelievable that he would be the one who started it. That's really funny. Or is Prince Albert like Cockney rhyming slang for your dick?
I'll tell you what. You could. If I give you his number, do you want to ring him?
Do you know which year he died in, Sam? Because I can tell you if you want.
Nah, mate, nah.
Next episode, we exhume the corpse of Prince Albert to figure out the meaning behind the phrase.
To see if he had one.
Yeah, we just got to find.
And he's buried under, obviously, the Albert Hall. So it'll be a sick adventure for
I
us.
mean,
It'll
it'd
be like
great fun. Yeah.
what's that Nick Cage Nick Cage film that there's National
There's
Treasure?
several. There's several.
It'll be let's not talk about Nick Cage. That's a whole episode.
Not the bees!
Content.
No! No!
But we can have our own National Treasure adventure where we break into the Albert Hall, dig up his corpse, and see if he's got a piercing for his Johnson. So how good would that be?
That would be
That would be good.
season 2 finale. It's coming up.
You are going to prison for 6 months. Sam's giving me bad vibes. He's just
I know
sat
he's
there.
not
You're leaning back
feeling
too
this
far.
today.
I'll tell you, I'm actually picking. My head's got really yeasty, so
Oh,
I'm
mate,
scraping
I
all
don't
the
wanna
yeast off
know.
my
No,
scalp.
Literally, no one wants to know that.
So
Old yeast head. See that
Old
over there?
yeast head.
That's old
it's
yeast
like
head.
Marmite spread on the head, basically, but just dried out.
Oh, mate, you are grim.
Speaking of yeast, I am coming back to food. I'm
What
afraid.
a
I've been
time,
thinking
what a
about
time.
food a lot today. So I started with something that I, wanted to be buried alive in, but I also found something.
Oh, yeah.
I've been
that's where we
exploring the tinned section in Lidl over the past few weeks.
You go.
Every couple of days, I just buy a new tin of something I've never tried before, and
started. Yeah,
the name
that's
of
quite an
this-
exciting way to live your life, Ryan. I've got
I
to
know,
say.
Yeah. Pretty
b-
cagey.
living in on your own, doing your own thing.
You sound lonely.
Like the old cat lady down the little cans aisle. Oh, she's been there 20
You sound
minutes.
really fucking
I'm
lonely.
quite happy with my cans, my antique cans.
Bag of
Not my
cans.
cans.
Good evening, sir. Oh, hello, Maestro. Bring me the usual. Ryan's Soup Review.
Now, I just thought I'd, expand my horizons. So I bought a tin of Lidl's pea and ham soup. Now, sweet fucking God, do not buy that.
Was there
really?
a lot of sediment at the
Oh,
bottom
first
of
of
the can?
all, it's all sediment. Like it's all there is no soup within that can.
Oh,
It was like a solid. You could
like
take
the
it.
cat food. like
Solid
lunch.
block, like formed even with like the ribbed shape of the can, just a solid cylinder of greeny, beigey mush.
Yeah.
But it would only be mush if you
I'm licking my lips,
disturbed the
mate.
cylinder. But I mean, to taste, it just tastes like it does actually taste like soup, but
Which
it just is. It's scum. It's
Just
just
not.
it's just river scum.
Which I'm sure there's a comedy, but we can just rip it right off, which is obviously the basis of our podcast. A new segment called Ryan's Soup Review, where depressing
Oh,
cans of.
totally up for this. I
100%, mate. You can
This
describe the
tomato soup
product,
is the bomb.
where people can get it, and then just tell them what you
I
thought of
think
it.
that could go on for a few episodes. Definitely a season worth.
I need a rating system. A slurpable 6.
Oh, please do this. Please do this. I want 10 episodes.
Ryan's Soup Review.
I will contractually give you a contract for 10 episodes to do a 5-minute stint on different types of soup.
You guys betrayed me with your old football podcast. This is where I take off.
Ah, of course he brought it up.
I'll be very upset if this happens and I don't get to do my raisin or sultana that I've been saying that I've been wanting to do for a long time now. I've got a whole pocket full of sultanas and raisins and what are the other ones? Sultanas, raisins.
Apricot,
Nah.
No.
There's another like little brown.
Prunes.
raisin,
No,
and
not prunes.
Prunes are
Dates.
evil, man. Dates
No,
are
not
dates.
dates.
Dates are
dates.
prune. They're Dates are prunes in disguise. They're just
We
like
need
Turkish.
we need a dried fruit
Turkish
specialist. I got a number for a dried fruit specialist as well if you want it.
Moving on to prunes, though. Do you
Oh,
know
you
the
gotta
old
go
rhyme?
careful. Tinned prunes as well.
Yeah, tin
Sure.
prunes. So I told my mum I thought tin prunes and custard was a nice dessert when I was like 10. And then we ate it like 3 times a week for like a year before I was like, Mum, I fucking hate
Right.
I hate
prunes
you,
custard.
and
You
I
must
hate
have
this
been-
fucking meal.
You must have been regular. Like, dangerously regular.
Do you know the rhyme that you do with the pips though when you eat prunes?
No. What is
So
this?
have you never heard of this? This is very old school. I'm just checking in my head if there's any like unfortunate words in it because it's very old fashioned. But you count out how many pips you got in your prunes, and then it's a tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor, rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief. And however many prune pips you got, that's what you're going to be when you grow up.
But I was gonna say,
I thought that wasn't going to have a punchline, and I thought it was just going to be a little rhyme. that you-
There
yeah,
is
counts
actually
as
another
shit.
verse, but I'm pretty sure it strays into some slightly contentious territory.
nah, yeah. Of all the things to get cancelled, let's go out with a bang. Let's not do it on just some basic shit.
What, you don't want to get
No.
cancelled for my prune rhyme?
Prune racist. I mean, it does sound like the kind of thing you would have come up when you were malnutritioned as a child, purely eating prunes 3 days away. You must have been so thin and pale.
Mate, I was absolutely ripped when I was 16.
He was just a skinny, ragged kid.
Jacked, absolutely jacked. Just muscles are muscles, mate. But it all went downhill, obviously.
Yeah,
So
he's a blob now. Proper blob.
I'm like a brick at the moment, honestly. I am.
You're dense, that's for sure.
I was floating in the sea. This is also a good related sea story. Are you supposed to be able to float without moving at all if you are like upright in the sea?
No.
I was bobbing like a cork today, and I think it's because, like, honestly, vertically, I was stood up in the water, so to speak, but not without my feet on the ground, and I was honestly, with no effort, staying afloat and just sort
Wow.
of bobbing. And I don't think I used to be able to do that when I was more slender.
Well, you know what they say? Fat is less dense than muscle.
I mean,
100%,
muscle's
mate.
heavier. Muscle is heavier than fat.
Yeah,
Denser.
3 times heavier. I heard.
Is
It's
it?
That's what
So-
I heard, mate.
Effectively, you
From,
were just sort
Heath.
of a sponge bobbing.
It's Clive is just an oily sponge.
But did we get round to say, Ryan, what food did you want to drown in? That pea and ham soup from Lidl? Or...
I do not want to. I do not want to drown in pea and ham.
I'll be honest, going back to that, if it was me, I would love to drown in like a custard slice, like the middle bit.
That'd be
Thing
quite
is,
thick, though. That
I
wouldn't go
do-
into your lungs very nicely. You'd be hacking it up like.
thing is, those slices, the biscuit's always too. It's like an impenetrable, especially on a cream slice. You could build a house out of those little
Yeah,
wafers.
honestly,
you cannot
little-
bite through them.
Those lattices, you just add them up, mate. You can bomb.
What, until you can drown in it.
But I'll tell you how to do it, and let me tell the world as well. This is the truth of how to eat a custard slice or a cream slice for that matter.
Please tell me.
If you go on top, all the cream of the custard comes out the side, and it pisses
Yeah.
everybody off, and it upsets your day. It ruins mine.
Waste of time. You have wasted the dessert.
What you need to do, my friend, is you need to get that cream slice, that custard slice. You need to rotate it 90 degrees and bite into its
Oh,
side.
How
Shit.
have I never even thought of
Wait,
that?
you need to describe it more. What axis are you rotating it on for the
So
listeners?
you are about to eat it from the short face, so you're facing, not the long face.
So you
the
don't
short
even get
face.
sticky fingers.
So the square face of it, and then you tilt it on that side. So the long side you're rotating it on. So you still got the square face in front of you, but you've now instead of got a horizontal lines, i.e. of the lattice. So you've got pastry horizontally, then custard horizontally, then you've got pastry again. You've now got vertical lines. I'm talking the
This
French
would make
flag.
a great graphic, by the way. Like, someone was
That'll be
like,
on the latest cover.
trying
I
to-
will show it, but I will rotate a custard slice 90 degrees and I will put it as our cover. Don't you worry. That, my friends, is how you eat it without any of the cream or custard coming out.
So many times I actively stopped. They taste so good, but I actively stopped buying them because every time, first thing would be all of the nice like icing on the top, just
gone.
wasted all over your fingers, and then you've just got a palm of cream because it's all just a palm and lap of cream.
It looks like you've had a wank into your hands.
Yeah.
Can I be real honest with you, fellas? I'm not sure that I even exactly know what you're talking about. Like the pastry department, like custard and cream and pastry.
Do yourself a favour, and after it's going to be Ryan's soup review and Clive's slice
Pastry
segment.
review or something. No, I told you I'm doing raisin or sultana.
I mean, the slice segment. I mean, you got two types. It wouldn't last very long. You got custard or you got cream, and that's it basically, isn't it?
£1 money, that's for sure.
Can I tell you what I'd drown in though quickly if it was up to me? Evaporated milk and rum.
Jeez. So what is that a White Russian? Is that or
probably
is that
basically? Yeah. I mean, you go into any decent cocktail bar and they'll make it for you, mate. You just have to tell them.
It's an iced coffee without the coffee.
basically
just
yeah,
iced
with rum?
Yeah, true. Well, you can put rum in a coffee, Ryan. Don't limit yourself. It's all good.
You can have it in your morning coffee, not a problem. Just before you drive to work, no
Shaky,
worries.
shaky, shaky. But no, rum and evaporated milk is that's where I want to be. That's how I want to go.
I've never tried that. Is it any good?
It sounds delicious, actually.
It's comfort food for the soul, but you should only.
Well, what are we calling this? Has this drink got a name? I like to think it's called a hot Clive. Give me a hot Clive.
Because it's,
it'd be like a
not
warm
hot.
Because it's
Hang on.
cold.
Cold Clive.
Evaporated milk and rum. I've never actually checked if it's a legitimate.
Stick Clive is what it's called, because that evaporated milk is like really. Oh, do you know what I'm thinking? Not evaporated milk. I'm thinking condensed milk.
It's something called coquito.
Is it?
Puerto Rican rum and sweetened condensed milk.
Oh, I love Puerto Rico.
And it has to be sweetened.
Yeah, otherwise
probably
you're just
not.
drinking
I mean, rum is pretty
alcoholic
sweet.
milkshake, aren't you? So
It sounds fantastic. I could definitely drown on that.
I could smash a bit now.
Yeah,
if I had to choke on something and die, it would probably be a cream horn.
I don't think there's a nice way to choke to death, though. I think drowning, potentially at a certain point, it might be.
Drowning's the worst way to go, man.
Apparently, it is the worst.
No, after the initial agony of the liquid going into your lungs, apparently
Burning your
then you
lungs.
feel, once that settles down and you're almost dead, apparently you feel very serene.
Yeah, because
Very
you're fucking dead, mate.
Yeah, your lungs are cooled down from all the burning.
Once the worst pain known to man has calmed down, you actually survive.
Yeah, that's what they say, mate. I mean, better than fucking getting burnt to death, for sure, 100%. Drown me every time.
Yeah, I mean, at least with
time.
drowning, it's like all inside. With burning, you've literally got to feel your nutsack burn off, haven't you? So.
Oh, yeah. And your eyelids.
Well, normally, in fairness, the smoke,
And your eyes.
the smoke normally knocks you unconscious if you're lucky. But wow, we got onto a dark topic.
Oh,
So,
do you know what I nearly went on to then? I thought, and I stopped myself. That's why I paused. I nearly said, I can't even say it now. Do you remember when that monk set himself on fire in a protest? That must have fucking caned, man. Honestly, it must have really fucking hurt. I'm not,
I
shout out
do
to
honestly
monks,
think
but,
about
was
that.
brilliant.
I've thought about that before, and I immediately go to my nuts. Like, fuck, you just have to stand out of
Oochie.
everything. Yeah, you're
Oochie.
dying and you're about to die, but I just immediately think of because any kind of burn, like you just burn yourself from hot water on the kettle, and it's fucking agony. Just pouring that
Just
all
for
over
everybody
your
who can't
nutsack.
see, Ryan's face has gone really fucking serious right now, man. He's just like
Yeah, I actually think we should move on from horrendous burns. 'Cause,
how do we
it's
get
not-
from condensed milk to burning?
Well, we were still talking about death, but just dying in a nice way, I think. So
Have we got any segments to bring us out of this?
I think we're just
time?
free, but
Nah, fuck that, man. We're
free
free
flow
falling.
this evening.
This is sweet free. What should we call this? As an episode free.
Freefallin by Tom Mayer or whatever. John
Yeah,
Mayer.
free falling by Tom Petty and Heartbreakers.
Yeah. But no, I've got. There should be loads jam packed full of segments next time, won't we? But this is just letting
That's
some of
just
that.
fucking
Our
chicken wing it,
bageth overfloweth.
To be honest, I nearly came to this episode and I literally said before I went on the mic, I ain't got anything fucking planned. I ain't got anything prepped.
I could tell, mate. The way you were slumped back in your seat. The second cream slices were mentioned, though. Up he is like a fucking rabbit.
I actually do have some
meerkat.
shit, but I'll keep it. I'll save it because we're flowing here. We got some natural flow.
mad
so
flowing,
we'll just save
mate.
it. Yeah. So, fellas, though, I mean, we've been continuously skipping from topic to topic, but now we're actually talking about it. It's somewhat slowing down.
Because we've made a thing about it. It's like one of those awkward conversations where you're at a party. It's like, hey, yeah, we're talking to one another. That means we're talking to one another.
And then
What are we going to do next to one another?
what initially seemed like a really nice budding romance has just become two people in a room awkwardly thinking about what to say, and then the night
There's-
slowly falls apart.
3 of us. For a start. Let me tell you something about the Pope.
Zoom just asked me if I was playing music because I was making funny noises, and then it says set up professional audio settings.
That's not working for me.
I think you got to stick with it for a good 10 seconds, mate, and that'll be on you.
That's not good listening.
Oh, that's slightly angelic.
It's not working.
It hasn't worked. I'm getting a lot of eyes at me as well. It's burning of eyes.
We've lost it. We've lost the podcast.
No,
fish.
we haven't. We haven't. No, we'll bring it back.
I am
in.
absolutely covered in yogurt.
He's eating so much yogurt.
For the last 10 minutes of the podcast episode, I like to call this piece, they called it Greek.
I've never seen someone do a double take on one spoon before. Normally just take the spoon as a one, but you did a double take on that spoon.
An
Well,
ASMR of a man eating a yogurt, that is not going to be popular.
If I've got a kilogram of yogurt to get through, I'm not just gonna fucking cannonball the whole thing down in one go.
You're
'Cause it's
saying
just
that
coming
like
straight
someone's
like
making you eat your kilo of yogurt. Like, surely you only have as much
that.
yogurt
I
as
do
you
feel a
like.
bit sick now. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm down to the final line.
That I'm gonna take a photo because that is the same size as your fucking head.
It is actually, isn't it? And I am known
Holy
for having quite a
shit.
long head. It is quite a long head.
Holy,
But
got it.
for any listeners out there, I know this is a little offshoot of the soup review. But get yourself
Shout
some
out.
low-fat Greek style yogurt by Mill Boner.
You know you want high fat.
I
so you
know
gotta
because
sugar
it
it
said
up.
Mill Boner.
I know something else that we can do, which is kind of curmudgeonly, but also kind of sweet. You know what I got in the mail this week that was interesting?
Go on.
Was an invite to a friend's wedding in
Oh,
the
yeah.
United States.
Oh, Ryan got his.
Look
Now, question.
here.
Ryan, did you get one with plus guest or not?
Is this designed? Is this something you've designed to hurt? Because if so, it hurts. Because
Did
there's
you get a
nothing.
plus guest or not?
I got nothing. Does it say it on the envelope? Because
Yeah,
if not,
It doesn't say it on the
slightly
actual
hurt.
invite. Guys, I actually don't think this is good chat for the podcast.
You're the one that brought it up.
I do have to say that the picture, she looks quite happy. He looks like he is guarding. He's guarding his
Hands
precious.
off my woman.
His eyes are burning. They are literally coming out of his face.
You can look at her, but you can't touch her.
He does look psycho for sure.
No, I only brought it up not for you guys to actually discuss the logistics of like the invite, but just to mock Americans for being wrong about how they spell the date. I just thought that'd be fun
I know, like,
because it's just wrong. It's just clearly wrong.
what is the 29th month?
Yeah, like
That has always really confused me.
we're gonna get some slack hate for that from anyone listening in North America, but that's fine.
Oh man, we got a big catchment in North America, so shout
Wow.
out to them.
You should know. And also, congratulations to Kaylee and Chris, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations.
Just want to get that in there because that's nice. But you
Yeah.
spelled the date wrong on your invite, so I won't be there.
May I won't be available in Maytember. I'm sure there'll be some skivvy hostel we can
Yeah, there'll be a motel around the
slither
corner.
into.
Or a wood.
I did actually think about getting my own and spending a little bit of money and actually enjoying the trip instead of being crammed in a room with 7 sweaty men for the course of a weekend.
Aren't we getting a flight like with a 36-hour layover in Iceland? It's going to cost like 150 quid or something.
I want to get that 10-day ferry, mate.
Yeah, you mean on a cargo ship?
Yeah. Cargo myself over.
Yeah,
in
so
amongst the bananas.
you can because boats were designed when they needed bigger crews, like these huge cargo ships. So they've got more cabins than they need, and you can genuinely book cabins like to travel, and it's really cheap.
No way, really?
Yeah, but it takes like obviously a lot longer than flying, and it takes longer than a lot of things. But you get to the States in like 8 days or whatever, like 9 days, and you get to go on a voyage, but you have to kind of like behave yourself and
get down and dirty with the crew.
Obviously, you got international laws out there as well, so anything goes for 7 days.
Anything goes.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan should ever be allowed in international waters because I just think he'd lose his head and get up to all sorts of.
You get ripped up like tissue paper, you would.
To be honest, what would happen is we'd stop the boat, we'd chuck the anchor out, I'd grab a oversized bottle of champagne, scream something awful like it's time to party, then slip, smack the back of my head on the yacht, and then just sink to the bottom of the ocean, and that would pretty much be the end of me then and
there was
there.
no proof of you ever getting off the boat, and people like international boat laws, man.
Yeah, I'd look for you, Ryan. Like the Titanic, like Billy Zane on the Titanic. I come back.
Billy
Come
Zane?
looking for you. Just find
Billy Zane?
50 years
I
later,
don't know.
just find a load of debris at the bottom.
I'd be like, Ryan, it's Ryan.
Look at him. There's his ring. There's his
his
like
Prince Albert.
t-shirt. There's his Prince Albert.
It's the only way we'd be able to identify the body.
There's his gold tooth.
There we go. I
Fine,
think we
dude.
should leave it there because that kind of tied everything together. The Prince Albert drowning and dying, which has kind of been the theme of the whole.
And what was it? Yeah, how would you
But
get
dying,
suffocated?
how would you, what food would you choose to die on?
I don't want to choose it. I do not want to choke to death on food. I'm just.
I mean, if it's a cream horn, it's pretty good.
curry horns are sweet.
Yeah, but would you really want it to be something that you like, and your last ever feeling and thoughts and stuff are going to be like, I fucking hate cream.
You got
horns," 'cause
cream
it's-
coming out of the
Yeah,
gaps
it's like-
in your eyes.
Oh, sounds like something out of Final Destination.
Tears of cream.
I can't blink anymore.
But oh man,
You know, on that shitty X-Men film when Wolverine has to fight that girl with all the needle fingers, and the only way you can kill her is by pumping her full of the metal they're made of, and it's all coming out of her eyes.
Oh, the metal comes out of her
but
eyes.
imagine that, but just getting pumped full of cream horn.
This is why I think cinema needs more like scientists involved at the script writing level before they start going into pre-production. Because when would ever you get injection of metal coming out of your eyes?
yeah, but even like that's such a most like
It's
premises of a film are just bollocks, aren't they? You're like name a film and you'd be like, yeah, that realistically under normal laws of society and science, it's just not going to occur. So it wouldn't be very good, would it? It'd be not very entertaining.
I'll tell you one that really pissed me off. There was one called, Grey's Anatomy.
I know of it.
Yeah.
There was one episode where this woman had 2 wombs and she was pregnant, and they found out when she was giving birth that she had another baby actually in her womb, a second womb, and she was giving birth to another baby, but it was premature. They both came out about 30 minutes apart. One was white, one was black.
And are you saying this is or isn't scientifically possible?
Is
I
this
don't think you
possible?
can have 2 wombs, and I don't think that... Basically, what they were trying to imply was she was having an affair, and they had to make it very, very obvious.
Very obvious.
I just thought,
the
honestly,
most convoluted way possible. So what if she had 2 wombs and had 2 babies at the
I'll
same
wait
time
for
from
it.
different fathers?
Grey's Anatomy, man.
But yeah, no, and at the end of it, the guy was like, "I don't want to be with you because you cheated on me." And then the surgeon who helped them give birth, he was like, "No, you're the father of both these babies. And I was like, he fucking
But he's
isn't.
not.
He isn't. He's like, you got to step up and be a real man. And the guy was like love of my life cheated on me.
When did you start watching Grey's Anatomy? Like, when did life become that bleak?
Hey, that's when I stopped. That is when I stopped.
What? That was where you drew the line. You were like, this is not realistic in any sense.
This isn't realistic, yeah.
Don't they end it with like really long, drawn out, meaningless quotes? Like, so what we thought from the beginning was forever what we thought forevermore.
Really emotive and like so profound.
And
Like,
Graham really did ride that bike all the way to where he wanted to go.
and I guess all of us somehow, in part, became part of a bigger thing that was less than what we started with, but more than what we had in the beginning. Thank you. Thank you.
It's true what they say. Less is more, but more is less.
You know what they say? 2 wombs are better than 1. And Finny.